All right, I want to talk to you about Richard Wright. There he is. Richard Wright. Yep, that's all true. I think he's such a great writer, and what I especially want the students in my class to absorb from the study of Richard Wright is the power of the wonder that he took in works of literature, especially American literature. There's this part in here in Black Boy where he has this like full body need to read H.L. Mencken of all the possible people in American literature for an African American boy in 1920s Memphis, Tennessee to want to read H.L. Mencken. I don't know why, but Richard Wright is very clear about it. He wants to read Mencken because Mencken opens up the entire world of literature to him, and he says in a very powerful paragraph that I'll include in here in a minute. He says Mencken just opened up the world of the power of words. He specifically says that Mencken used words as weapons, and I just think that's so interesting. I really do. There's this other thing in that bit about Mencken in Black Boy where Mencken is just writing about all these writers: Dreiser, Conrad, Sherwood Anderson, Willa Cather, Edith Wharton, and Richard Wright's like, who are these people, and why does Mencken care about them so much? And I just think that's like the place to be as a student of American literature. Who are these people, and why do other people care about them so much? The next step to that is, why do I care about them so much? And that's what I really hope that the students in my class are going to come away from this class with, a feeling about who are the authors that you care about and why do you care about them. Richard Wright right now is an author who I care about a lot. One of the reasons why I care about Richard Wright so much is his ability to describe hunger. In Black Boy, the way he describes feeling hungry because his dad has left the family, and he and his mom and the rest of their family are left in just the most abject poverty, was heartbreaking to me. And to bring that sensation that, I don't want to think about, but for Wright to make me think about that, I think that shows a really important power in an author, to make you think about people being hungry. That's something that I think should be thought about, and I really admire Richard Wright for making me, get out of my daydream and confront that to the extent that I'm able to. Another thing, in Native Son, the thing that he does so amazingly is to draw you into this world of this exceedingly, or not exceedingly, I guess, just regularly angry and disenfranchised black boy in whatever that was, late 1930s. To feel Bigger's rage, to feel his lack of freedom, how his whole world is just like shut down to these, no-win choices, and not only not winning, like being defeated, being electrocuted. That was what was really in the card for Biggers. That was really what was in the cards for Bigger, and the way Wright drew upon the influence of all the naturalist writers that he was studying under Mencken, like Theodore Dreiser and Stephen Crane. The way he drew upon that tradition of American literature and made it his own and used it to describe African American history and experiences, he singularly was able to understand and articulate it. I think it's kind of a miracle of American literature, and that's another reason why I'm just so fascinated by Richard Wright, is because it seems kind of like a willed miracle of writing, and he talks about it very articulately in How Bigger Was Born, which is included in most editions of Native Son. And we'll talk about that some more. So I've kind of got Richard Wright on the brain right now, as you can see. This is his first book of short stories that he got published. I haven't even cracked that one yet. 12 Million Black Voices. This is what he wrote right after the success of Native Son. He took a tour of the South, and he wrote a political treatise on the situation of African Americans. And then there's this book that's not by him, but the title comes from him, The Warmth of Other Suns, describes the great migration of African Americans up from the South to northern cities and cities in the West like LA. and San Francisco, Richmond, like that up north. Wright is sort of the poet, the bard of the Great Migration, and I'm interested in him also as kind of a portal or a way to look at that whole aspect of the American experience that I've heard of, but it's been kind of like out there, and his ability to bring that experience to me in a much more focused and present way, I think, is another great value of literature. And I mention all of this really because I said I've got Richard Wright on the brain. I hope that you guys will find an author, whether it's him or really anybody else, who you'll be able to have this kind of fascination with, because I think that's the most important thing that you can get from the study of American literature is some kind of a productive fascination.